and yours a very happy holiday.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust. Serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. Cars Plus, Dodge Challenger, the undisputed champion. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dedido. Always open, always local.
Ahead on primetime, a man charged in Sunday's double shooting in Harmon appears in court. His bail is set at $500,000. Plus, a legislative ethics committee dismissed a complaint regarding the liquid fuel tax law. Carmen Tulahi will have reaction. And KUAM joins the community in giving back this holiday season, delivering gifts for this year's Toys for Tots.
Hafide and good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. The man charged in connection to Sunday's fatal shooting here in Harmon says that he was fearing for his life.
Court documents now giving us a clear picture of what unfolded moments before 24-year-old Joseph Sagdahl allegedly pulled out his registered handgun and opened fire. Crystal Paco has tonight's top story.
Quote, I felt as though I shouldn't have used my gun in this situation, but I was afraid for my life. I regret not resolving this another way, end quote. These words from aggravated murder suspect 24-year-old Joseph Sagdahl in his statement to police following Sunday's fatal shooting in Harmon. According to court documents, Sagdahl was at Hemlani Harmon Apartments to pay $20 he owed to an individual only identified as John. While at the apartment, Sagdahl says he was hit in the face with a slingshot for unknown reasons. After the hit, he told police he reached to his back seat and grabbed his gun. He then pursued his slingshot attacker, who was a passenger in a Sentra with 3 others. That man, reported to be Brokey Tomaso, exited the car and taunted Sagdahl. A chase ensued and Sagdahl leaned outside his car's driver's side window and shot at the Sentra an unknown number of times. The pursuit resumed and more shots were fired. When Sagdahl was done, he told police he unloaded his gun and set it on top of his car. He was still on scene when police arrived. Sagdahl, according to court documents, works as a shooting instructor. On Tuesday, he made his first court appearance alongside defense attorney David Lujan. Bail was set at $500,000, as recommended by prosecutor Jeremy Kemper.
Young people are requesting a cash bond of $500,000 by the severity of the offense, including the number of shots fired, there being 2 victims, the defendant having followed the victims and chased them into traffic, firing the gun in a busy area.
Brokey Tomaso, according to an autopsy performed on Monday, died from a gunshot wound to the head through and through. The chief medical examiner says the shooter fired the gun from a distance more than 2 feet away. Tomaso was found lifeless on scene when police arrived Sunday night. According to the defendant, Tomaso was the instigator. The second victim, who has been identified as Myrose Marichong, died from multiple gunshot wounds. An autopsy was performed on Tuesday but will be completed on Wednesday due to the need for x-rays. Sagdahl's next court appearance is set for December 29. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Crystal Paco.
Now, vandals hit a northern middle school campus twice over the past week as Department of Education spokesperson Isa Baza confirms to KUAM News that the latest break-in at FB Leonguro Middle School in Jigo occurred Monday. It was discovered around 8 a.m. yesterday as school staffers found more than a half-dozen classrooms in complete disarray with several clothing items missing. Just last Monday, vandals went through 18 classrooms at the northern campus, damaging school property and taking several school supplies. Both incidents have been reported to GPD. If you have any information, you are implored to contact Guam Crime Stoppers with information. Their number is always 477-HELP. That's 477-4357.
A woman visiting her brother at the Department of Corrections is now staying at the prison after allegedly trying to smuggle contraband inside. Julie Salas Guinness Balahaja is charged with promoting major prison contraband, conspiracy to promote major prison contraband, illegal possession of a Schedule II controlled substance, possession with intent to distribute, and illegal possession of a Schedule I controlled substance. Police say she is wanted in connection to the Mandania Drug Task Force's contraband investigation. Authorities met with her in the parking lot of the Mangilao compound on Monday and found 1.5 grams of the drug ice and marijuana. Investigators say Palahaja was contacted by her brother, inmate Peter Guinness, who then told her where to pick up the drugs. Guinness, who was also accused in the post-6 brutal beating of Justin Meno earlier this year, is now facing additional charges of conspiracy and promoting major prison contraband.
Well, 3 different attorneys and a handful of open cases. Just last week, Sean Paul Johnson was sentenced to 6 years in federal detention for drug possession. This week, the Superior Court of Guam tried to get a handle on his remaining cases, including his alleged role in smuggling contraband into jail. On Tuesday, Johnson entered a plea agreement in a family violence case, with the court sentencing him to 90 days concurrent to his other conviction. Return dates have been set for late January to give his different legal counsels ample time to work in concert.
The government requests that his appeal be thrown out. Former head of DepCorp Internal Affairs, Jeff Limo, did not appear before the Civil Service Commission during his scheduled status conference today. His attorney requested for a second week in a row that the hearing be continued. Management's representation was not pleased with the last-minute change and requested that the commission dismiss the appeal altogether. However, they instead continued the matter for next year. Limo is among these several facing charges for his alleged part in a major scheme to smuggle in prison contraband. He is now fighting his termination from the department. The hearing has been continued for January 16th.
The complaint has been thrown out, but those who filed in October and concerned citizens are not so fast to forget their ethical concerns about the new liquid fuel tax, claiming that when it comes to taxes, it's up to the island's voters to ultimately decide.
KUAM's Carmen Terlahi joins us with more. Carmen.
Brian Jace, the Ethics Committee released only this short response. For those who filed the complaint and members of the community, it's not enough.
The Guam legislature, along with Senator Bisco Lee and Senator Morrison and the rest of them, really gave us a New Year's present, which is higher taxes.
A New Year's gift with a hefty tax price tag. Andre Bainham, private citizen, wrote letters with Guamanians for Fair Government to oppose Bill 122, signed Public Law 34, a law that come January would increase the tax on gas and liquid diesel, which he says would mean higher airfare and groceries. A law of taxation without public representation.
What they did is they just totally bypassed the people's right by law given to us by previous legislatures and by previous representatives of the people to vote on issues of taxation, and I think that's a problem.
In fact, 2 concerned citizens took it upon them in October to file separate ethics complaints. Daryl Taggarty, supporter of Citizens for Public Accountability, first testified in favor of the bill, but did not expect senators to ignore the law.
But I did not expect them to ignore the existing law that refers all bills that raise taxes for public vote. I didn't suggest that they ignore that. That's a law. The reason they're raising the liquid fuels tax was to repair roads. We were already collecting liquid fuels tax to repair roads, but they've appropriated it to other uses. So it's become an extension of the general fund. And that is wrong.
For Bainham and Ken Leon Guerrero, spokesperson for Guam Citizens for Public Accountability, the response from Vice Chairperson Senator Lee is part of a larger problem with the Ethics Committee itself.
This really casts a negative shadow on her ability to lead this committee and her ability to even be a senator or a representative for the people.
All I got from the ethics complaint was one paragraph saying that we have investigated the charges and they are groundless. The oath of office is very specific. Obey all laws of the United States and Guam. That's very specific. When they voted to pass the fuel tax in violation of Guam law, they broke the law. So how can senators investigate themselves and find themselves blameless?
Leon Guerrero urging lawmakers to consider an independent body made up of public citizens. Perhaps then, he says, lawmakers could do better. Brian Jace, back to you.
Thanks, Carmen, for that report.
Well, in other news, a former senator is doing his own digging into another ethics complaint dismissed by the committee last month.
KUAM's Nick Delgado has the story.
The complaint was sparked after this September protest outside the Anderson Air Force front gate. Participants then giving a public show of force against the live fire training range at Anderson's Northwest Field, and Senator Fernando Esteves, who joined protesters as they briefly blocked access to the base exit road.
But the goal really was just to bring this to the forefront. It's an important topic, and it was really to send a message, and that was accomplished. Whatever comes of it and whatever sacrifice may result from what I did, and whatever happens to me, I can live with it.
He since issued an apology to the base commander for comments made that day. It was last month the Legislative Ethics Committee dismissed a complaint filed against Esteves for his involvement.
They decided not to investigate. So it's as though they never really started the case. So a lawyer would say there's no res judicata effect there.
Now, former Senator Bob Klitsky is doing some investigating of his own.
I'm wondering why a person can block a highway, participate in something that has some of the earmarks of a riot, and walk away from it with impunity. I hope that that's not the model that we're setting for public officials, that if you don't like something, just go block the highway.
Klitsky using the Freedom of Information Act so he could get a close look at all public records regarding Esteves' participation in the human chain. But he had some immediate concerns.
I've got some kind of crazy stuff, like Senator Fernando Esteves has some emails. He took a black marker to the email and said that he doesn't have to release them because legal counsel told him he didn't have to. I don't think that's the way things work.
Legal counsel apparently determined certain information was not subject to disclosure under the Sunshine Act. In response, Senator Esteves tells KUAM all correspondences and public records relating to the protests were provided to Klitsky in accordance with his FOIA request. He adds email correspondences from private citizens supporting the protection of Chamorro rights, including minors, were initially provided. However, their private contact information were redacted to maintain privacy, safety, and well-being.
I read them all, of course, and they're fan mail is basically what they are. There's no nuclear secrets there or damaging personal information. It's just fan mail. The principle here is really important, Nick. A senator shouldn't get the idea that he can just take a black marker and cross stuff out without any statutory authority. The law says that the only reason that you can redact or not turn over is because the law prohibits it. There's no discretion involved. It's either all open or it's prohibited.
While Klitsky continues to push the issue, Esteves argues he did not fail to comply with his FOIA request, stating, quote, "I am not above admitting my faults. As I have shared before, I resolve this matter and wish to move forward and continue to focus on the people's work." Reporting for Guam's News Network, Guahusi Nick Delgado.
Stay tuned. We're back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience KUAM News than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM News app for your Apple or Android device for 24/7 news, sports, videos, weather, streaming of KUAM radio, and important news alerts. And stay connected at home with Guam's first app for Apple TV. All available now from the App Store.
Tis the season for giving with IT&E gift bundles. Get a free wireless charging pad when you activate a Samsung Galaxy S8, the S8 Plus, the Note 8, or any of the latest Apple phones. Get up to $40 free load when you buy select prepaid phones or pick up the Figo Atrium 2 and get a free SmartFit watch. Check out our Facebook page for details. IT&E. Life in motion.
2017 is rapidly coming to an end, and the big finish is on now. At Cars Plus in Mighty, get big year-end savings on a big selection of new 2017 Ram trucks, Jeep Wranglers, Dodge Challengers, and all Fiat models. Plus, buy from Cars Plus today and receive a Cars Plus value card, where you get 21 cents off per gallon at all Shell stations. Big savings and 21 cents off per gallon with a Cars Plus value card when you buy during a big finish at Cars Plus in Mighty. Cars Plus, driven by you.
When you know what you want and you want it great, look no further than Ruby Tuesday's new Steakhouse Sensations menu. Choose from a 20-ounce dry aged prime bone-in ribeye or an 8-ounce filet mignon tenderloin. Either steak seared to your preference and served with 2 specialty sides like Denancy mashed potatoes, grilled asparagus, or roasted Brussels sprouts. Enjoy surf and turf and add a succulent lobster tail or tender grilled salmon fillet to complete your meal. This plus a whole lot more. It's Steakhouse Sensations for a limited time and only at Ruby Tuesday, Guam.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back to the show. Lawyers in the high-profile legal battle between the airport and DFS wrapped up arguments Tuesday on a series of motions meant to set the table for a possible court showdown next month. Over the past few weeks, Judge Arthur Barcenas has presided over often contentious hearings seeking dismissal of portions of the case or the entire lawsuit itself. It's now been more than 4 years since DFS sued the airport after rival Lotte Duty Free was awarded the multi-million-dollar retail concessionaire contract that DFS had held for 4 decades. The airports argued that DFS knew all along what issues it may challenge, but failed to file a timely protest. DFS has countered that the airport violated procurement law and conspired to give Lotte the contract. The bench trial before Judge Arthur Barcenas is scheduled for January the 22nd.
It was more of a formality, but the Port Board Tuesday approved a resolution to begin drawing down on a $72 million bond for facility improvements. General Manager Joanne Brown briefed directors on some of the changes and proposed changes to the bill.
As far as some of the amendments, fortunately, that did not were not adopted was one amendment in particular by Senator B.J. Cruz, and I do want to point this out because it was concerning to me that he had introduced the amendment that in the event this bond bill were to pass, it would prohibit the PUC from addressing any rate increases to the port for a 2-year period.
Port management spent a much longer than expected 5.5 days in front of lawmakers trying to win passage of the legislation. Brown, a former senator, was not pleased with much of the deliberations.
I certainly do appreciate the assistance of Ms. Tina Garcia from GITA, who sat through this whole process with us and was able to respond in spite of some real arrogant and obnoxious responses. And I am saying that for the record, that were received by, again, a select few, probably 4 out of the 14 senators that were present during most of this particular committee of the whole.
The port plans to use the bond proceeds for renovations of Hotel Wharf, utility and infrastructure improvements, and for the construction of a new port administration building. It is the port's first ever bond borrowing.
Well, KUAM has joined the many across the island for the annual Toys for Tots program, and we want to send a heartfelt thank you to everyone who donated their unwrapped gifts at our studios here in Harmon throughout the past month. The Salvation Army stopped by today picking up the toys and giving it to kids in need this week. Here is Salvation Army Commander Captain Tom Stambaugh.
Next is our big distribution starting Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of this week at our Tejan office, where we're going to be giving out a lot of these donated toys that we just got today to the families that we have signed up since October. And we're excited to give it out.
The Salvation Army is still looking for volunteers to help hand out the gifts this week. If you'd like to get involved, you can call their office or check them out on Facebook.
The Down Syndrome Association of Guam exists to support families of individuals with Down syndrome. We're a group of parents who have children with Down syndrome and know the joys and challenges of raising them. For more information about the health, development, and education of a child or adult with Down syndrome, please contact Vicky Areola at 472-6114.
At Island Cancer Center, we treat our patients and their families like our family. We have all been touched by cancer, and it is important to feel comfortable and secure under the care of our health professionals. You can count on us for skilled cancer specialists, the most advanced cancer-fighting technology on the island, and a commitment to caring for you or your loved one with compassion, respect, and empathy. Our family, treating your family.
Island Cancer Center, located on Guam Medical Plaza. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 646-3363.
Everyone is a winner with Shell's Holiday Fuel and Win giveaway. Receive a scratch card with every 7-gallon fuel purchase to win $5 off of your next $30 purchase or $2 off of your next $20 purchase of Shell fuel or Foodie store items. Eat, drink, and happy holidays from Shell and Foodies. Only while supplies last. So hurry to your nearest Shell station today for your fuel or Foodie scratch card. Some conditions apply. See store for details.
Enjoy 2 medium, 2-topping Pizza Hut pizzas for just $8.99 each. The perfect pair at the perfect price, so everyone's perfectly happy. Call for delivery or carryout. Get 2 medium, 2-topping pizzas for just $8.99 each, because no one out-pizzas the Hut.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
Afide Marianas, Guahusi, Chris. Let's kick off tonight's show with a recap of the high school wrestling all-island meet.
Home sweet home. The Father Duenas Friars earned this year's boys high school all-island team title, earning 250 points on their home turf. The title now makes it a three-peat for the Friars, with Simon Sanchez placing second with 128 points. Southern finished third with 117. FD dominated the mat, picking up 8 golds and 2 silvers, 6 of the wins coming by way of pin. Aiden Duenas kept his winning ways in the 146-pound final against Southern High's Ronnie Manglotnia. Duenas almost came up with the early win in round 1, but Manglotnia was able to escape and get back to his feet. Duenas secured another takedown, but Manglotnia rolled out of the near pin attempt. Once he got back to his feet, Aiden scored again off a big takedown. A near pin at the end of the second round awarded Duenas with 3 points. Fighting from the down position, Aiden Duenas reversed the action to get the win by pin to start off the second round. Friars wrestler Matias Calvo controlled his fight against Ucadus Ricardo Alandes in the 182-pound bracket. Calvo, undefeated this year, capped off his junior year with a gold medal after beating Alandes by points. Conditioning was the key factor as Calvo looked good as the match went on, while his opponent, Alandes, seemed to wear down in the final round. Kobe Onadera, gas on point. Onadera took on the very animated Bart Avian in the 195-pound division. Onadera controlled the match, racking up points after a couple takedowns. Avian fought off every pin attempt by Onadera to send the match into the third. With blood dripping from his nose, Bart continued to make Kobe work for every single point. In the end, Onadera crowned champ by way of points. Sanchez's Lynch Santos bumped up from his normal weight to win the 132-pound gold medal over GW's Corey Cabales. Santos has been one of the Sharks' top wrestlers this season, able to move up and down weight classes when needed. After falling short last season and settling for silver, this year was his year, taking home one of 5 gold medals for the Simon Sanchez Sharks. Paul Uggan took home another gold in the 152-pound division for the black and silver, rolling through opponents the entire season. Uggan finished the year undefeated and wrapped up his 2017 run with a win by pin over FD's Liam McManus. Sharks wrestler Javier Rodriguez followed up with a win over Southern High's Brock Bonnet in the 160-pound weight class, with teammate Hansen Ignacio adding another Sanchez gold in the 220-pound finals after pinning Jacob Wolford of FD. Regulation time and 2 OTs wasn't enough time for this year's boys high school soccer championship to be decided. The Islanders had opportunities late in the match to score the game's first goal, but put a little too much leg into their shots, with both teams heading to the line for the penalty kick shootout. League MVP Takumi Ito took the first shot for the Islanders and missed, hitting the crossbar. Aiden Dixon would get his shot blocked by JFK keeper Alan Aranas. FD's Xavier Napati able to get his shot to go past Aranas for the first goal of the PKs. Islanders Inoki Rosella quieted the crowd with his shot, Rosella evening the shootout at 1 apiece. Giancarlo Abril tried to put the Friars ahead, but Alan Aranas came up with another big save. Chris Fernandez missed his opportunity, putting too much on the shot. Kyle Halle put the Friars ahead 2-0 as Aranas didn't know which way to go on the shot. Eddie Cho evened the score again, scoring the goal for JFK, 2-2. Joseph Connolly put the Friars up for good, kicking in the eventual game-winning goal as JFK player Christian Quito missed on his kick. Friars won the title 3-2 in the penalty shootout. This was the second game in a row the Friars won by shootout. Their semifinal game against Harvest was also won by shootout.
All right, thanks for watching, Marianas. Once again, Guausi Chris, está adios!
I had a dream. I walked into a dealership, picked out a new car, gave them no money, and they're letting me drive it for free the next 3 months.
At Nissan Guam, your dream has become a reality during the premier year-end event. For the holidays, you can drive away a new Nissan with no money down and not make a payment for the next 3 months. It's on the house. No money down. We make your first 3 payments. Just sign and drive away. For details, stop by Nissan Upper Kumon or log on NissanGuam.com.
Say hello to the widest 4G LTE network in the Marianas, Guam, Saipan, Tinian, and Rota. When your passion goes beyond your island, choose a plan that takes you further. With Docomo Pacific's My Plans, you can do a lot throughout the Marianas. 20 gigs for $79 or 30 gigs for $99. All the data you need to connect, share, and make all your ideas happen. Dream big, reach higher with My Plans. Docomo Pacific, better together.
They're getting ready for a hot deal. Looking for the new McPick 2 for $5. Going for savory, juicy, and crispy. It's good! Choose 2 fan favorites on the McPick 2 for $5 menu. Looks like the McPick 2 for $5 deal is gaining some attention. Just like we thought, more taste is coming to the new menu. What a powerhouse! The McPick 2 for $5 menu has your favorites. Choose 2 for $5.
All 2017 models must go during Triple J Auto Group's Big Deal 2017 Inventory Blowout. We're making room for our 2018 models. That's right, all-out blowout sale. Thousands off on all 2017 Hondas, Acuras, Fords, Mazdas, Lincolns, Volvos, and Kias. Now is the time to check out the largest selection of brands on Guam. See PDN and post ads for details. Every customer receives a free gift. Stop by today or visit us online at triplejguam.com and trade-ins welcome. Some conditions apply. Triple J, 33 years of putting customers first.
And before we close out the news tonight, here's your latest round of birthday shoutouts.
Happy birthday to Oliver Engling. Celebrating her birthday is Lauren Jerusalem. Happy 44th birthday to Cheryl Lynn Gumaban. Lots of love from your family. Happy 38th birthday to Jennifer Darlene Kitsutsu. Lots of love from your family. Happy 11th birthday to Kirian Charfris. We love you from the family. Happy birthday to Zion J. Villanueva, celebrating his 6th birthday. We love you, son. And happy 23rd birthday going out to Cameron Christine Santos.
Having a birthday this time of year is super cool. You got a lot of presents.
Yeah.
Christmas
Birthday
right around the
Christmas,
corner.
right.
Yeah, but make sure if you are a late December baby, get your birthday in. Just go to KUAM.com and register and then tune in.
Stay tuned. Extras next.
Closed captioning is brought to you by IT&E Life in Motion. Health, home, and lifestyle. Presented by Paradise Fitness Center, changing lives since 1996.